Okay, back to the classroom. For grade sevens, this is going to seem like you've done this before, and for the most part, you have. But until we get into the really difficult jobs that are included in geometry, we have to take a look back at the really simple stuff tonight. So what I want to do is take a look at perspective and how you can take what you think is a 3D shape and turn it into a 2D shape, okay? Just by the way you look at something, the viewpoint that you take, okay? For instance, let's give a couple of examples here a try. Here we go. All right, I want to start with a shape like this one here, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, I can see that shape. How would I draw it on a screen? How would it actually come out? Well, I was thinking about this. If I were to draw not the front, but the side of this shape, what would it look like? Well, it would be 3 blocks down and 3 blocks out, 1 block up. On the side, it would look something like this, right? So on that side and on the other side, it would look like that. But how would it look straight on? Like, how could you draw this straight on, as if you were looking at it right from the very front, with the blue one up the front, that kind of thing? Well, I was thinking about this earlier today. It would have to be slightly bigger in terms of its shape. So let's take away the stuff that's here and see if I can do just that. Okay, we'll undo all this stuff if I can. I don't think I can undo it. There we go. And undo, and undo, and we'll do Control Z. Okay. So if we take the lines, because it's nice and neat when you can do nice little straight lines, and that's the very top. That's here. And do this, because we're only looking at one, and then that's the first shape, right? So you've got that point, and that's the line end. That's your top block. Now, how would you do the rest? Well, off like that, then down straight, then off, then down straight. And then, of course, if you see it, you're sort of cutting down like this in the front, back and forth, like that. And then it's back up the way we just came. And there's the shape from the front. Now you can also include all the lines on the inside. You'll come up with the same idea. But what I've just done is I've taken that 3-dimensional object there and I've turned it into a 2-dimensional object here. And I can take both sides and I can look from the top. How would it look from the top? Well, probably you'd have the one box on the top here, right? Sorry if it's a little messy. One block on the top here, and that would be that block. Then the second block beside it, then the third, and then going the other way too. And then the block here. That would be the overhead. Okay? So if you're looking straight on, you're going to get that kind of look, but if you're looking from the top, it's going to look like this. There's not going to be any dimensions in terms of the depth of it, but you are going to get an idea of what it looks like from each perspective. Now, could you do it from the front? Yeah, you can. This gives you a bit of an angle. You could do it directly from the front too and have a block, you know, a block and a block. But anyway, the idea is to think about perspective when you're working on today's work. And there's at least, 6 or 7 of these things that you could redraw. You'll get some examples of how to match them up and everything else too. But work through it. If something doesn't make any sense, that's okay. Ask the questions that you need to ask tomorrow. And let's see how it all works out tonight. All right? Take a shot at it.